I tried to stop using my iPhone for 7 days, but I failed. Here's why. My personal opinion is that in 2025, we're a little bit too connected to our phones. It's a little bit hard to be unplugged, and it seems a little bit insane. And initially, when I set out to create this video, I had the running theory that by unplugging yourself, you'd be more plugged in, meaning you'd be more connected with your family. But as I tried this experiment, I quickly learned that that might not be the case for everybody, and specifically myself. Now, as I started this experiment and I was thinking logistically, I thought all about the things that I kind of take for granted when using my phone. Just driving my car, going to get gas or something, or going for a 30-minute drive, and I usually listen to Spotify and get some music, or other random things like grocery shopping using lists, or GPSing around the city. So those are the things that I thought that it would be difficult for me, and to be honest, it was, but we'll get there. Before that though, let's talk about today's sponsor, MagBack. This is the MagBack Elite case, and one of these can be yours for free. It's packed with features that make everyday use a lot easier, and to be frank, one of the things that I missed about my iPhones was this case. And before I get into the cool features of this case, I just want to say that I've partnered with MagBack to give one of you lucky viewers a chance to win one of these. So stay tuned to find out how. What I like about the MagBack Elite case is that it has a built-in kickstand with a solid hold, perfect for watching content, taking FaceTime calls, or propping up your phone anywhere. And when you don't need it, it folds away easily. On the back, there's also a finger loop, which has saved me from dropping my phone more times than I can count. Plus, the case itself does not interfere with MagSafe charging or using MagSafe accessories. But the biggest feature of this phone, and the reason why I use this day in and day out, is because of the strong magnets at the back. I'm not just saying that they're strong. This thing can stick to a car if you wanted it to. It can stick to anything, and it has some practical uses. Like, for example, if you're a vlogger and you want to take a quick video of what's going on around you, you can stick it to the nearest metal surface and record. The case itself feels great in the hand. It's not too bulky and it feels protective. And if you want to add a personal touch, MagBack offers accent packs in a bunch of colors to customize your case even more. These are some of the best cases I've ever used. And if you want to win one of these, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, comment MagBack down below, and go ahead and follow MagBack on Instagram. And that's pretty much it. You'll be entered and the winner will be announced in 2 weeks. Good luck, everyone. Over this last couple of days, I have not been using my phone or anything like that. It's been like 2 days. And honestly, it's been feeling good. I feel more checked into outside. Like, I've been going for these kind of walks and really enjoying the great outdoors more so than I normally would have. And I feel like I'm not really plugged into all the BS that's going on in the world right now. I'm just chilling and it feels good. So I like it. I'm gonna keep it going. Well, as you can see, it started off good and I had a lot of feelings at the time, but then I got sick. I got the flu, and I don't know if you could tell, there's a little bit of sweat on my nose, but I'm currently still fighting the flu. If you look back on my channel, longtime viewers will know this, is that I've struggled with epilepsy for the past few years. I officially started having seizures in 2020, and hard worker that I am, I just kind of ignored it and brushed it to the side and really went on living my life. And whenever it happened, I just, went back to work in the next couple of days, like nothing happened. I never looked into it. I didn't care about it. Over the last year or so, I decided that it's getting a little bit too much and I really need to take the time to focus on it.
I'll explain everything to you, and just so I know we're on the same page about your diagnosis and everything, okay?
For sure.
So, a seizure is essentially like runaway electrical activity in the brain. And they can look like all sorts of things, right? So on one end of the spectrum, there's different terms, and on one end of the spectrum, there's kind of the whole body shaking. Some people call them grand mals or whatever, but they're now called like tonic-clonic seizures, okay? Kind of the whole body stiffening. On the other end of the spectrum, there's auras, which are really small seizures over a small part of the brain. And people are still able to retain awareness and tell us what they're experiencing, and they're kind of like a warning before a seizure in a way, like the deja vu or the nausea or vomiting that you get. And then it can be anywhere in between, right? Depending on what part of the brain is affected. So if it's a little bit larger, people might have impairment in their awareness. If it's over the language center of their brain, they might have difficulty with language. If it's over the arm area, their arm might jerk. And so when I hear your story, I wonder if you kind of have kind of across the spectrum, right? So you have these OREDs, and then sometimes it goes into what we would call a focal seizure, where it's, not just a part of the brain, a focus of the brain, and you have difficulty with language, you might have some arm jerking, or it may go all the way to, both sides, tonic-clonic, kind of the bigger event, okay? Mm-hmm. When someone has had multiple events, irrespective of how the testing looks, it's an indication to us that for one reason or another, their brain is capable of making seizures on its own. And that underlying predisposition to just make seizures, or that ability to just have a spontaneous seizure, our fancy term for that is epilepsy.
So luckily, the last time I had a seizure that everyone thinks about when they think about seizures was in 2023. I haven't had one of those since, but I have had occasionally what's called focal awareness seizures. And the last time I had that one was earlier this year in February when I had a cold. So now that I had a cold, I had a little bit of worries of it happening to me again. And I did spend a little bit of time alone at the house. My fiance had other plans and things like that, and I was just by myself. So it might be hard to relate to, but being by yourself and having something where you're rendered unconscious for a few hours, you could bang your head, which literally happened to me. And again, I talked about it in a past video. You get anxiety surrounding those things, if I'm being honest. And I was a little bit worried about not having my phone and not having my Apple Watch on at the time. And I came to the realization that not having my phone created a little bit of a risk to myself. And that was important. I do want to make it very clear that with this condition that I have, I'm not afraid of dying or anything like that. And a lot of people go on to have very successful lives. It's just the way that we kind of live life is a little bit different. We have to navigate it a little bit further. So having something like the iPhone that can remind me 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. every single day to take my medication is very important, and I can't really find ways around that. I mean, I can, but it's at a risk to myself. For a lot of people, including myself, the iPhone and the Apple Watch are really important devices that can probably save your life.